When Germany occupied Czechoslovakia in March 1939, nearly 2,000 Czech airmen refused to surrender. They escaped through Poland, France, and the Middle East to fight on every Allied front. From PZL biplanes over Warsaw to Spitfires on D-Day, LA-7s over Ostrava, 20 aircraft carrying the white-red lion of a nation that never stopped fighting.
Poland, 1939. Let's begin with Czech pilots fighting alongside Polish forces in September 1939. PZL P.11c. Poland's primary single-engine fighter during the September 1939 campaign. Approximately 175 produced. 645 horsepower Bristol Mercury VS engine reaching 242 miles per hour. 4 7.92 mm machine guns. Czech pilots integrated into Polish squadrons flew the P.11c against the Luftwaffe invasion. Outclassed by Messerschmitt Bf-109s, Czech pilots nevertheless scored confirmed aerial victories. France, 1940. Moving on to the Battle of France, where Czech pilots flew 4 Allied aircraft types. Morane-Saulnier MS-406, France's most numerous fighter at outbreak of war, over 1,000 produced from 1938. Single 860 horsepower Hispano-Suiza 12Y31 engine reaching 302 miles per hour. 120 mm cannon plus 2 7.5 mm machine guns. Czech pilots integrated into Groupe de Chasse flew MS-406 defending French skies, outperformed by Bf-109E in every engagement. Bloch MB-152, French single-engine monoplane fighter, approximately 482 produced from 1938. 1,060 horsepower Gnome-Rhone 14N49 engine reaching 323 miles per hour. 2 20 mm cannons plus 2 7.5 mm machine guns. Czech pilots flew the Bloch alongside French squadrons during intense May to June 1940 campaign. Persistent engine reliability problems severely reduced operational effectiveness throughout the battle. Dewoitine D520, France's finest wartime fighter design, 905 produced from 1940. 935 horsepower Hispano-Suiza 12Y45 engine reaching 329 miles per hour. 120 mm cannon plus 4 7.5 mm machine guns. Czech pilots joining French units received D520s during final weeks of battle. Superior to MS-406, but too few, too late to reverse France's military collapse. Potez 63.11, French multi-role reconnaissance and liaison aircraft, approximately 850 produced from 1938. Twin 700 horsepower Gnome-Rhone 14M radial engines reaching 264 miles per hour. 3 7.5 mm machine guns plus light bomb load. Czech pilots flew the Potez in Army cooperation and reconnaissance roles supporting retreating Allied ground forces throughout the chaotic Battle of France. RAF, fighter squadrons, 310, 312, 313. Now let's look at the RAF period, where Czech fighter squadrons flew 8 aircraft types. Hawker Hurricane Mk1, the aircraft that carried Czechoslovakia's fight to Britain's skies. 3,900 produced with Merlin III. Single 1,030 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin III engine reaching 316 miles per hour. 8.303 machine guns. Czech 310 Squadron scored 37.5 aerial victories during the Battle of Britain. RAF's primary fighter holding the line while Spitfire production accelerated. Hawker Hurricane Mk2, uprated Hurricane entering RAF service from September 1940. Single 1,280 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin XX engine reaching 342 miles per hour. 12.303 machine guns in Mark IIB configuration. Czech squadrons 310 and 312 flew Hurricane Marks II on offensive sweeps over occupied Europe, escorting bombers and conducting ground attack missions throughout 1941. Hawker Hurricane 11c, night fighter variant carrying Czechoslovakia's most lethal single pilot of World War II. Single 1,280 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin XX reaching 342 miles per hour. 4 20mm Hispano cannons. Czech Flight Lieutenant Karel Kuttelwascher, flying single-handed intruder missions, destroyed 15 enemy aircraft at night over France, becoming the RAF's top night fighter ace of 1942. Supermarine Spitfire II, a first Spitfire variant reaching Czech squadrons in 1941. 750 produced with Merlin 12. Single 1,175 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin 12 engine reaching 354 miles per hour. 8.303 machine guns. Czech 310, 312, and 313 squadrons transitioned from Hurricanes, dramatically improving performance and combat capability during circus offensive operations over northern France and Belgium. Supermarine Spitfire VB, primary Spitfire variant equipping all 3 Czech fighter squadrons through most of 1942. Single 1,440 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin 45 engine reaching 369 miles per hour. 2 20mm cannons plus 4.303 machine guns. Matched the Focke-Wulf FW-190 poorly at low altitudes until Spitfire 9 replaced it during intensive 1942 Channel operations. Supermarine Spitfire 6, high-altitude pressurized variant operated by 312 Squadron from Schiabre defending Scapa Flow. 100 produced with Merlin 47. Single 1,415 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin 47 engine reaching 356 miles per hour. 2 20mm cannons plus 4.303 machine guns. Extended wingtips improved high-altitude performance for intercepting Junkers Ju-86P reconnaissance aircraft over Royal Navy anchorage. Supermarine Spitfire 9, the definitive Czech Spitfire, equipping all 3 squadrons through D-Day and beyond. Single 1,565 horsepower Rolls-Royce Merlin 61 engine, reaching 408 miles per hour. 2 20mm cannons plus 4.303 machine guns. Czech squadrons flew Spitfire 9s during D-Day operations June 1944, completing over 10,985 sorties throughout entire wartime service with 310 Squadron. Supermarine Spitfire 16, final Spitfire variant serving Czech squadrons through war's end in 1945. Powered by American-built Packard Merlin 266 engine, 1,705 horsepower, reaching 405 miles per hour. 2 20mm cannons plus 2.50 caliber machine guns. Czech pilots flew Spitfire 16s on ground attack and escort missions during final Allied push into Germany throughout 1945. RAF 311 Squadron bombers. Continuing with Czech bomber operations under RAF Bomber and Coastal Command. Vickers Wellington, Czech 311 Squadron's primary bomber during 1940 to 1943 Bomber Command service. Over 11,461 produced, most numerous British bomber. Twin 1,050 horsepower Bristol Pegasus 18 engines, reaching 235 miles per hour. 6.303 machine guns, plus 4,500-pound bomb load. Czech crews flew 1,043 Wellington sorties over Germany, losing 246 personnel killed or missing throughout the campaign. Consolidated B-24 Liberator, 311 squadrons aircraft from August 1943 operating under Coastal Command. Over 18,482 produced, most produced American military aircraft. 4 1,200 horsepower Pratt & Whitney R1830 engines reaching 290 miles per hour. 10.50 caliber machine guns plus depth charges. Czech crews hunted German U-boats over Atlantic until war's end, completing over 2,000 maritime patrol sorties. Training. Next up, the essential training aircraft used by Czech Exile pilots in Britain. Airspeed Oxford. Standard RAF twin-engine advanced trainer processing every Czech Exile pilot arriving in Britain. Over 8,751 produced from 1937. Twin 370 horsepower Armstrong Siddeley Cheetah X engines, reaching 188 miles per hour. Unarmed trainer configuration. Czech airmen passed through number 6, OTU Sutton Bridge flying Oxfords before assignment to operational Hurricane and Spitfire squadrons. Soviet front, 1st Czechoslovak Fighter Regiment. Finally, Czech pilots fighting on the Eastern Front alongside Soviet forces. Lvochkin LA-5FN. Soviet fighter equipping Czech 1st Fighter Regiment from spring 1944. Approximately 9,920 produced. Single 1,850 horsepower Shvetsov ASH-82FN engine, reaching 403 miles per hour. 2 20mm Schwach cannons. Czech pilots flew La-5FN supporting Slovak national uprising, August to October 1944, conducting ground attack and escort missions from Soviet-controlled territory inside Slovakia itself. Lvochkin LA-7. Definitive Soviet fighter equipping Czech regiment from late 1944. Approximately 5,753 produced. Single 1,850 horsepower Shvetsov ASH-82FN engine, reaching 423 miles per hour. 3 20mm Schwach cannons. Czech pilots flew La-7s during the brutal liberation of Ostrava in April to May 1945. Fighting until Germany's unconditional surrender while their homeland endured final weeks of occupation. Petlyakov PE-2, Soviet twin-engine dive bomber operated by Czech crews during Eastern Front campaigns. Over 11,427 produced from 1940. Twin 1,100 horsepower Klimov VK-105PF engines, reaching 360 miles per hour. 3 machine guns plus 2,645-pound bomb load. Czech bomber crews trained by Soviet Air Force flew PE-2 missions, supporting ground operations during the 1945 Ostrava offensive. Ilyushin IL-2 Sturmovik, heavily armored Soviet ground attack aircraft, serving with Czech units in 1944 to 1945. Over 36,183 produced. Most produced military aircraft in history. Single 1,770 horsepower Mikulin AM-38F engine, reaching 251 miles per hour. 2 23mm cannons plus rockets and bombs. Czech pilots flew IL-2 Sturmovik on ground support missions during the liberation of Czechoslovakia itself. From the PZL P.11c fighters scrambling over Warsaw in September 1939 to Il-2 Sturmoviks roaring over Ostrava in May 1945, Czech Exile pilots flew 20 aircraft types across 6 years of combat on every Allied front. They escaped 3 times, from Czechoslovakia, from Poland, from France, and still returned to fight. 546. Czech airmen gave their lives, 482 of them serving in the RAF alone. Their 3 Czech fighter squadrons completed over 10,985 sorties. Their 301 Squadron hunted submarines across the Atlantic after bombing German cities. Their Eastern Front Regiment fought to liberate their own homeland. 20 aircraft, 20 chapters of refusal, a nation that lost its air force without firing a shot and spent 6 years earning it back.